PSG LGD versus OG. Game 1.
Perhaps the most hype rematch in esports history across all games. It was the grand finals last year. It was the winner bracket finals last year. LGD looking for revenge. OG, can they do it again? I've got Gunnar as well as Febby joining me. What do we make of this matchup?
Will there be a repeat of history?
Yeah.
OG again in grand finals. You know, EG can't be third place again. So there's going to be a new third place team for whichever the loser of this to play. But we could see the same result here.
Oh, but the home advantage is so real. Maybe it's because like I'm right next to them, but the cheer is just insane.
They've got the entire crowd behind their back chanting LGD. They are the last remaining Chinese hope, and we're going to get ourselves into our first draft of the day. OG with first pick. I mean, we talk about key heroes to ban. So far, a lot of the key heroes we're going to talk about banning is going to be from the LGD side. They banned Io as well as Enchantress. What are the must-ban heroes against OG? Are these what you would have expected to see banned out with the Magnus?
And the Mag. There's a lot of...
ET's open. OG might pick ET.
A lot of the drafts this patch are kind of centered around these like 1 or 2 core heroes that are just like bonkers.
Yeah.
Like this Wisp, if OG picks it, they're probably going to win every game.
Are we going to see a single carry Io, do you think?
I don't think. I think it's going to get banned probably every game of the tournament from every team. Like Secret showed they can play it. I'm sure LGD and Liquid are high enough caliber that the carry players can also play it with like little to no practice. So I think that hero is probably going to get banned. The Enchantress most likely will get banned by most teams against everyone, even Alchemist, you know, these Ogres, the Shadow Demons, these Lesh. There's so many of these like strong heroes. You have to take a trade where you give them a strong hero on first pick, but you get a second strong hero on second pick.
I think Tiny might get picked here. Tiny has been the hero of the tournament in the past few days. It's the tree volley is just so powerful, coupled with some AoE disablers such as Void. And I'm surprised that OG, I mean, I'm not surprised it's the second ban phase, but all right, they're going to pick Tide Lion.
They're sticking to their picks, you know. They're saying, yeah, Tiny looks like the meta hero, but this is what's worked for us.
I see NoTail just laughing. He was so confident with those picks. We saw the other kind of more common opening was the Tiny Void. I think that Seeker was running. And they would first 2 Tiny Void. And the other opening that most people do on second pick is Tide +1. So they both have kind of similarities. They have this like really tanky initiator in the form of Tiny or Tide. And then they have a little more team fight usually in the form of like this Void. Or I guess Lion, who gives you like follow-up stuns.
Yeah. So Lion, I mean, when you talk about this hero, normally it's all about the disable and the burst damage to some extent.
It's a really great laner too against ET, and I think that's what X-Nova was thinking. It's probably an X-Nova hero.
If he's running at you, you can just stun him, walk away.
Yeah. And Hex naturally is really good in these late game scenarios when there's all these BKBs in place. Having an instant disable that can catch people before they get a chance to pop BKB.
Even early game, if he ever gets a blink, at any point, he can start the fight on his Tide. If they ever try to jump him, they have a Ravage follow-up. OG's going to take the Void.
Yeah, we talked about Void being one of the big carries to look out for. So no Alchemist in the first stage. That was also something we saw out of the Secret series where you got to game 2 and it's like, actually, let's let Alk through. we've got ways to beat it. And these two teams, OG, a team known for first picking out, even in this tournament, are going a different direction. Why do you think that is?
Arc is a really popular hero, but these two teams don't really love Arc. I think it's because they are so comfortable playing against it, like OG, LGD. So I think that's why Arc is kind of getting ignored here.
The hero's been like slightly figured out. Like the Secret Mineski series, you know, Secret gave it away. They thought they could beat it, and obviously they won the game, but it was really close. The Alchemist, if he didn't die, he probably could have thrown, and Secret would have lost the series 2-0. So this Alchemist here, I think, is really strong, but like Febby said, I think they have a feel how to play around it. You know, OG is one of the classic Alchemist teams. They picked it, you know, at the Boston Major like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when they started, you know, they would first pick this Alch, Anna would play it, he just go this Radiance, so it's kind of going back to his roots. He's like, they're very confident playing around it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pick it still.
Yeah.
OG is like the best team at bringing the tempo to their side. They're like really good at creating chaos, so the other team plays at their tempo, and I think that's what Archimist hates the most. And I think LGD, they are traditionally like a Ame carry team, which Ame has a lot of heroes that's good against Archimist. Spectre, Slark, like those kind of heroes. So
Yeah. Does he have a lot of
Wolfie
heroes good against the Void? He plays a lot of Void himself, so he should know what works well against it. Naga Siren, one of the best, already banned out. What kind of carry do you think of when you see Faceless Void in the pool?
I was actually going to comment on that because it's uncommon that the Void is picked so early without the Tiny, but I think because of ET, it kind of makes up for the damage. And LGD loves Void. Like they will pick it in the second pick phase. So I think it was a deny pick from OG.
Yep.
Well, OG banned the Spectre and the Naga, which were, I think, the best two. They kind of provide a lot of team fight. They're both really tanky. Naga has this root to stop the Void. He also has illusions that can burn his mana. On the other side, Spectre is going to give vision. He's going to kind of make the team fight more chaotic, so these chronos are harder to hit.
Well, Invoker banned as well, so banning some of those heroes that can synergize very well with the Chronosphere, and then they pick a save. So this looks like we're going to see Lion moved over to a 4 position. FY has played it before as well, and Oracle gives them some way to keep anyone caught in that Chronosphere alive.
Yeah, a save is a counter to Void from support position, and I think because the SD is not there available for position 4, so I think that's why they transitioned the Lion to position 4 and picked Oracle for the position 5 from LGD side.
So right now, OG is going to kind of have to consider what they're going to pick if they want some chrono damage. I thought the Tiny has been the most common of the tournament, but it's been banned out. The other one was Invoker. You have either, if you go Exhort, you can have Sunstrikes, you can have Cataclysm, Meteor. Even if you go, you know, Wex, you can still have EMPs and Tornadoes and Lackady Avoid.
So some of the Thompson heroes that I can think of is Lina, Monkey King, Pugna, that we haven't seen a lot, but it is a pretty bad Pugna game against all those Sabers and Oracle. But I think the other two are pretty viable.
I think the Monkey is a little scary. Your Jingu can get purged in the early game when you try to run around. There's a lot of stuns, and it's kind of hard to want to play. I think the Lina is like a good choice.
It's scary to pick Monkey when you don't know your matchup as well, I imagine.
I know Thompson doesn't really care that much when he's playing Monkey. Him and Mid One are the two monkeys who, like, their teams have even like first phase their Monkey. They'll just throw it mid, and they'll go like 50-50. But another one of Thompson's heroes that he can go 50-50 in a lot of matchups is Pango.
Okay. So expecting the mid Pango, because we don't see Seb play this hero a whole lot. We do see Jarek's play though. Yeah. And ET is a 5 position typically as well. So.
Yeah, and they need to pick their mid earlier. They're gonna like get the mid countered anyway, so they're gonna pick it like probably the next pick from OG.
Yeah.
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 Like